Hi, I'm here to briefly explain the Australian Tertiary Admission Ranking System, or more commonly known as the ATAR. Some Year 10 students will have a goal of entering university straight after they complete Year 12. And most of these students are going to have to do an ATAR. Now, there are several pathways to obtain university entrance after Year 12, and Mr. O'Connell will explain some of those later in the video. But for most students, we highly recommend to get an ATAR that you do 5 general subjects across Year 11 and 12. Now, these subjects you will pick up knowledge, skills, understanding throughout the 2 years of study and be assessed at regular intervals. However, at the end of Year 12, you will be part of a statewide exam block where you will have exams for each of those subjects. In some subject areas like maths and science, the statewide exam will contribute 50% of your overall result towards an ATAR. Unlike the OP score, which was the previous tertiary entrance system, where the top score, top OP score was an OP1 down to an OP25, the ATAR starts at 99.95 and goes down in increments of 0.05 towards 0. Now, by way of some comparison, getting an ATAR score of around 90 means that you're in the top 10% of students in the state. An OP of 5 previously would be equivalent to an ATAR of 91. An OP of 10 would be somewhere around 78 as an ATAR score. OP of 15, which is probably the bottom marker for entrance into university courses, a lot at USQ, would be about a 62. I'd just like to finish by wishing everybody who is attempting an ATAR in 11 and 12 all the very best as they embark upon this very difficult course of study. Thanks.
Some students make the decision that they want to go to university straight after they finish Year 12. There are lots of pathways to university study, and we will explore these in this video. The ATAR, or Australian Tertiary Admission Rank, is the number which determines a student's entry into university. Students wanting to go directly into university post-Year 12 are advised to take this pathway. However, this is not the only way to get into university. To be eligible for an ATAR, students can either study 5 general subjects, 4 general subjects plus 1 applied subject, 4 general subjects plus a VET qualification at level 3 or higher, and they must also study an English subject, but this subject does not necessarily count towards their ATAR. Students must satisfactorily complete this English subject to be ATAR eligible. All of these studies must occur in Units 3 and 4. Now we will take a look at the different courses, General, Applied and VET, and how they contribute to the QCE and how their assessment works. We will start with general subjects. In Units 3 and 4, or traditionally Year 12, but at Oakey State High we start in Term 4 of Year 11, general subjects, or subjects that mostly contribute to an ATAR score, contain 3 internal assessments which are written and marked by Oakey State High School teachers. The 4th assessment is a statewide external examination at the end of Year 12 worth between 25 and 50% of total marks. The majority of students at Oakey State High School study applied subjects. Only 1 applied subject can contribute to an ATAR score should a student be going down the ATAR pathway. All 4 assessments are internally created and assessed, but Essential English and Essential Mathematics have a common internal assessment which is common across all Queensland schools. The CIA is written by the QCAA but marked by Oakey State High School teachers. VET certificates, such as the Certificate 2 in Hospitality or Engineering Pathways, or even the Certificate 1 in Construction, are assessed using a combination of folio work, observation and questioning. The assessment in these certificates are not pass-fail like they are in general and applied subjects, but rather they are competency-based where students are provided multiple opportunities to demonstrate competence. One Certificate 3 course or higher can contribute to an ATAR score for those students on this pathway, such as those often completed in school-based traineeships. As has been mentioned in this video, there are many different pathways into university. For example, our local university USQ, or the University of Southern Queensland, consider many pathways for entry into their courses. For example, they offer entry via the Accelerated Entry Pathway program. For your Year 12 students who haven't taken an ATAR pathway, it allows them to study over the summer vacation to become ready for starting a degree the following year. They also offer the Tertiary Preparation Program, or TPP, which allows students without an ATAR to study university skills. Upon successful completion of the TPP, students gain guaranteed entry into many USQ degrees. Students who study at registered training organisations such as TAFE and gain certificates, diplomas or associate degrees can enter university using these qualifications. Therefore, students who study these qualifications prior to wanting to go to university can then transition across to university degrees of their choice. Finally, the Indigenous Higher Education Pathways Program, or IHEPP, is a pathway that supports students who are of Aboriginal and/or Torres Strait Islander background wanting to commence study without an ATAR. QTAC, or the Queensland Tertiary Admission Centre, calculates ATARs for Queensland school leavers. They calculate a student's ATAR based on their best 5 scaled results. Generally, Oakey State High School advises ATAR eligible students study 5 general plus 1 applied subject or a Certificate 3, but will consider 4 general subjects on a case-by-case basis. Next, you will see a video from QTAC providing further details about the ATAR.
Soon, Queensland education will transition to a new system that aligns with other states and territories throughout Australia. The state government has entrusted QTAC to manage this important change. From 2020, ATAR, the Australian Tertiary Admission Rank, will replace the overall position as the primary pathway to tertiary study for Year 12 students. To be ATAR eligible, students must complete either 5 general subjects or 4 general subjects and 1 applied subject or VET course. English is compulsory, but there are 5 English subjects to choose from. A process called scaling will then be applied. The purpose of scaling is to prevent the unfairness that would occur if we simply added up raw subject results. And here's why it's important. Without scaling, a score of 90 out of 100 in Maths A would be the same as a 90 out of 100 in Maths B. But that doesn't make sense. We know that Maths B is more challenging than Maths A, and things get even trickier when you look at vastly different subjects. Is achieving well in art more difficult than physics? Is chemistry harder than English? What about geography and physical education? Scaling allows comparison based on the difficulty of achieving each result. Let's break it down. Scaling works by looking at how students who take a particular subject perform in other subjects. This comparison tells us something about the relative difficulty of each subject. When we examine the results against large groups of students, we can determine how hard a subject is overall compared to other subjects. Until December 2020, when the first ATARs are calculated, we can't know for certain how hard a subject will be. Some subjects may scale higher or lower from one year to the next. So it's important for students to choose subjects they enjoy, that they are good at, and that are prerequisites for the further study they want to take, rather than basing choices on how a subject is likely to scale. Now, we've spoken a lot about the ATAR, but it's not the only path to uni. VET courses and applied subjects can also get students the requirements they need. And there are other life opportunities too. TAFE, apprenticeships, a gap year, even work. The future is in front of Queensland students, and it can be extraordinary whichever path they choose. We're all in this together, and together we'll make the transition to ATAR a positive experience for every student in Queensland.
Should you have any questions or would like to know more, please contact the main office at the school either in person or via telephone so that we can direct your inquiry to the relevant person. Our office phone number is 0746 91 4100. All the best with your choices around your senior education and training plan or SET plan. We're always here and happy to help.